The man blew red gas at the woman. The woman lost her eyesight. She cried and tried to call for help, but accidentally knocked over a shelf onto herself. The next day, the police arrived at the scene and believed that the woman had died in a normal accident. However, when they saw the woman's eyes, they changed their minds. They returned to the police station and had the medical examiner begin an examination. The terrible thing was that the woman's eyes were full of parasites. While they were still pondering, the fly monster reappeared. It grabbed a woman and prepared to absorb her tears. Just then, the woman's sister returned in time. The fly immediately transformed back into a human and quickly drove away. John then found Johnson and looked up the fly monster in an ancient book. It turned out that the monster fed on tears to achieve immortality. Based on the woman's sister's description, the police quickly found the monster. When John was about to capture the monster, the fly expelled red gas at John and quickly jumped out the window and left. At that moment, John couldn't see clearly at all and could only let the fly escape. They then took John home and learned from books that light could slow down the reproduction of parasites. John could only keep his eyes open. Suddenly, John discovered that his hearing had become extremely sensitive. However, they had no time to waste, because in 3 hours, the parasites would eat John's eyeballs. On the other side, a woman was looking at a photo. Suddenly, the monster reappeared, immediately pinned the woman to the ground, and tried to obtain her tears. But the woman kicked the monster away. At that moment, the police arrived at the scene. They prepared to attack the monster from both sides. Just as the monster was about to obtain the tears, the police opened the door and walked in, but the monster had vanished. Soon after, John arrived at the scene. He placed his ear against the wall and used his hearing to detect the monster's voice. It turned out the monster had fled to the second floor. So John went to the second floor. The area suddenly fell silent. Suddenly, the monster appeared, but John used his exceptional hearing to dodge the attack. Then the monster used a toy to disrupt John's hearing, but John was unaffected. He quickly pinned the monster to the ground and captured it. The next day, John began training his hearing. The movie is Green. Thank you for watching.